What's going on, guys? Jonah here, and I figured we would react to some really old Honda Goldwing commercials. I definitely could have, I may have been able to find more. It looks like the oldest one I got was stuff by the GL1500. But what I love is seeing stuff about my bike when it was brand new, because the Honda Goldwing really is, it's a staple, and it's been around for 50 years now. And even the GL1500, man, that was the top of the line motorcycle. And people see a GL1500 now and they're like, they are impressed with its features and everything like that. But when it was brand new, it brought brand new technology in, like the radio reverse for the first time. Cruise control was huge. Um, it was a 6-cylinder motorcycle. Like the GL1500 did a lot for motorcycles. And on here, I even have something about the GL1800. Man, that thing came out in what? I think it was 2002. That's 20 years old now. So over 20 years old. So it's really kind of interesting to look at these old motorcycle ads. And I'm going to compare it to an ad for the brand new 2025 Honda Goldwing and just kind of, see how it's changed a little bit. We're going to go ahead. We're going to watch this. Thanks to Mick Lader for posting this.
Okay, time now for a look at.
This was on Top Gear. I think that was a magazine.
This is the most recent Goldwing GL1500.
Check that out.
It's got everything on it except the kitchen sink. It's got a 1520cc.
You see, even back then, when it came out, like, mind you, it came out 1988 to 2000. That's 12 years. And then the GL1800 was around from 2002 to 2018, which was even longer. 2002, 2018. That's 16 years. Wow, the GL1800 was out even longer than that. The GL1800 did have a little bit of a revamp around 2011, 2012-ish, but it didn't change too much. And I love this gold on that. That's really, really cool. Mind you, Goldwing stock crash bars always, right? Or else you would destroy all the plastics.
Flat 6-cylinder engine. It's also got its own adjustable suspension.
You see that in the background right there. You see? There's the GL1200. Maybe another GL1200. That's legit. This is the Aspencade model. It's in Europe, of course. Okay, I'm going to bring it back.
It's also got its own adjustable suspension activated by this onboard.
Adjustable suspension? Correct me if I'm wrong. A lot of this was absolutely brand new. Potentially the BMW KT series might have had some of that first, but BMW is still behind right now. They don't even have Apple CarPlay on their newest touring bikes. So
onboard computer, so it can go up and down depending upon the weight of your pillion passenger or the road surface. It's got fully integrated disc brakes, 2 on the front and 1 on the rear. It's got a super duper radio,
which you need those big brakes for that big bike. And then here's the radio. We're about to do an entire video on the radio. Stay tuned for that.
Cassette system with the volume controlled by a computer on the speedometer. It's got electronic cruise control.
Check out that electronic cruise control. So you notice why it even says electronic cruise control. If you didn't know, cruise control of the old past, like of the 1100 and maybe the 1200, but the cruise control was actually just like a little lever you had next to the throttle, and it would just lock the throttle in place. That's what cruise control was before.
And it's got illuminated hand switches. In fact, I wouldn't mind half of these things on my car.
Ooh, illuminated. I never even thought about that. Of course, the Honda Goldwing, on the left and the right side of the handlebars, you have your controls. On the left, you have all your radio and CB stuff. On the right, you have your cruise control stuff. All of that is lit up with mini lights. I have seen videos of people actually replacing those with LEDs to make them brighter. Of course, I don't use most of that. Like, when am I using cruise control super light at night where I can't see anything? But yeah, I never even thought about other motorcycles not having that prior. On my GL1200, I never noticed that. Although I also don't believe my 1200 has cruise control.
And to avoid those hernias pushing it round the car park, you can select reverse.
Reverse gear. Reverse gear is like something everybody talks about with this still. Like, reverse gear is such when you think GL1500, you think Goldwing. I was like, oh man, this thing even has reverse. I may sound preppy when I say this, but reverse is basically a must. Like if you park slightly downhill, and it can be kind of dangerous trying to use your feet to push it back up. And if you're needing to push it like from the front, you don't want to damage the front of the fairings pushing on it. Reverse is very welcome feature for sure.
Reverse gear.
Not very often with your legs being so long, you don't really need it, but it gets you out of trouble.
It must be very cumbersome riding a thing of this size.
No, it's not that bad. The centre of gravity is very low, so it keeps it upright, very balanced.
Of course, and something that Honda Goldwing has always been good at is having a low center of gravity, right? What you would think would be a traditional gas tank on a normal motorcycle, it's a full gas tank, and the actual tank is about 5 gallons. Is really low to the ground. Liquid is heavy. It keeps your center of gravity nice and low.
So you don't fall over too often.
No.
Why do you ride a bike like this?
Well, I used to have a sports bike, but I kept getting stuff for speeding, so I thought it was time to change.
I see.
Oh man, I would love to see the rest of this video. Yeah, so this is the only clip of this. If anybody has the full video on this, I would love to see it. This is super fascinating. We're gonna go ahead, we're gonna check out the next video. This is from Motor Week. I'm not sure, this might have been early 2000s, and they called it a retro review back then, or maybe the person who uploaded it did. I'm not sure.
Motor Week is made possible by rockauto.com.
Retro review.
Motorcycles are rather compact Spartan machines, at least compared to...
Yeah, you see the audio. I have no idea when this was made. Interesting. Yeah, no idea when this was made. Not even sure what this is, but yeah, this does look like an original ad for the
compared to
1500.
cars consisting of little more than a frame, an engine, and 2 wheels. But one of the most popular bikes in America doesn't quite follow that rule. It does consist of a frame, an engine, and 2 wheels, but you could hardly call it compact, and you'd definitely call it comfortable.
Of course, Goldwing, what is it? It's big, it's comfortable. That's what a Goldwing is. It's a road couch.
Many simply call it the Wing. Its proper name,
The SE,
however,
that's what I
is
have.
the Honda Goldwing. Since its introduction in 1975,
Check that out. That is, right now, my dream bike is a pristine GL1000. If you guys watch this video and subscribe, maybe I can get monetized someday and justify buying a 1000. I'll be honest, if I could swing it, I may own every single model, a 1000, an 1100, a 1200 with a sidecar so I can take my kids on road trips, an 1800, and a 2018 Goldwing. That would be phenomenal.
the Goldwing has evolved from a large semi-performance bike into a huge highway tourer. And from Japanese...
You know, of course, the Goldwing, when it was first coming out, it launched naked like that. That's what you call it, no fairings or anything. And the public, the people, they started developing fairings and saddlebags and stuff for it. So it's really the lovers of the motorcycle were the ones that turned the Goldwing into what it is. It's kind of a love letter to Goldwing. So it's like, you release this motorcycle, we, the consumer, did what we wanted to it. And then the manufacturer noticed that and started catering to what people were doing. In a way, the customers created the Goldwing, and what the Goldwing is today, Honda has been developing the Goldwing for the people, and it really does show. It's the best-selling motorcycle of all time.
Built to American made.
Check this out. This is cool.
Goldwings are now built in Marysville, Ohio.
Look at that.
Honda also builds a lot of four-wheel.
I believe they're not made in America anymore. They were for about 25-ish, 30 years. Check out this factory, though. That is so cool.
Now, when we call the Goldwing huge, we do mean huge. Weighing 816 pounds and standing over 58 inches tall, our top-of-the-line SE is one of the largest motorcycles ever made.
SE is special edition. That's the one It has reverse cruise control and everything on it.
Goldwing size isn't just for show. It has a purpose. Long haul.
Check out that B-roll footage.
To that
I
end,
need some of that.
today's Goldwings wear a fairing large enough to protect you from an Arctic gale.
If you notice this windshield here, it does have the vent stock. Some of them did have that. The windshield that I have on my bike is actually aftermarket, and it's much taller than normal.
And the SE is topped off by a windscreen with adjustable vents for hot weather.
It's phenomenal. I need a new windscreen, actually.
Height adjustment
Stay tuned if you want to watch me replace my windscreen on my bike.
system. Tucked within that fairing is an
Look
efficient
at that,
car-like
brand
instrument
new,
cluster
clean.
that befits the wing's car-like size. Other SE features familiar to Honda car owners include easy-to-use cruise control,
Cruise control,
as well as a standard AM/FM
cassette. If you want me to do tutorials on some of these features, I was going to make one on the cassette player, one on the center stand, one on the cruise control. Let me know, guys.
stereo. There's also a CB radio and intercom.
This CB radio. Okay. We haven't talked about this yet. So the CB radio on the GL1500, there's a hookup in the front and there's a hookup in the back. And back in the day, I believe you could get helmets with a mic and you can plug it in, and it was basically your Cardo from the 80s. I would absolutely love to pick up a helmet with the CB hookup and maybe even put my brother on the back and actually test the CB functionality. That could be a really fun video. Let me know if you guys would like to see that. I would need to buy that, and that would take a while to get a hold of. So if you think that would be cool, let me know.
System and even thoughtful heat vents for the rider's legs and feet. Posteriors.
There you go. You see that? The heat vent. So up here, I'm pretty sure the top vent is cool. The bottom air is warm. It's so, you go on the internet, nobody even knows what these vents are. It's really interesting, even people who own them. This bottom vent here, I'm going to do a video on. There's actually a little switch up top, and you can turn it, and you can open that heat vent, and it'll take extra heat to your feet while you're riding. And in the summer, you definitely want to have that closed because you want all that heat going out the exhaust. It's super hot on your legs.
Feet. Posteriors are pampered by the lazy boy of motorcycle seats. And this year it's been lowered to better fit shorter riders.
Ooh,
the SE cargo
this year. So you got to remember, this is the 1995 SE. This does have slightly different features. Mine is a 98. So basically everything, this is basically my exact bike. In 1988, some of those might have been different. Like he said, that the seat's been lowered slightly. I'm thinking he's meaning it's been lowered since 1988, not since the GL1200, which was made between 83 and 87.
Boxes have central locking and almost car-sized luggage space. With so much equipment on one bike,
that's a waste, though. If you're going to have a big suitcase like that and you're riding solo, put that in the passenger seat, put a bungee cord on it. You can save so much room. Like, when I would go to do army stuff, I would put 2 huge green duffel bags up on there, and man, I could carry everything.
Motor is required to move it, and the Goldwing has it. This massive 1520cc flat 6 engine is the biggest 2-wheel power plant available. It sends its power through
largest motorcycle engine in the world at that time. I believe it.
Silky 5-speed transmission and smooth shaft drive to move the wing along in a surprising.
Shaft drive is legit. Everybody knows it. You don't need to lube anything. You do, believe it or not, there is shaft oil, and that does need to be changed like every 2 years or something. I can do a tutorial on that if you want as well. But yeah, not having a chain to lube, I love it.
Brisk manner. The drivetrain is nestled low in a massive steel frame with 41mm air adjustable forks up front and twin rear shocks that are adjusted by an onboard air compressor. One would think
the air ride suspension, that's one of those features people may think is useful or is not useful. For me, it's super useful. It goes from 0 to 100. I usually keep mine when I'm riding solo. I keep it around 70, maybe 65. And if you have a passenger hop on the back, you go ahead, you increase your rear suspension, and it makes it so the rear doesn't dip down as much. Now, that's a problem you typically don't have at all with traditional shocks. Like it will just dip down a bit more, but you'll keep it from bottoming out. And since the bike is so big and so heavy, I really enjoy the adjustable shocks for that. It really gives it a smooth ride. Especially I have a trailer hitch too, and if you have the back loaded up, you might want to spruce that up a little.
That packing so much on only 2 wheels would make for an awkward machine, but it doesn't. The big wing is very nimble for its size. Now, it's no sport bike, but it still proves capable enough on curvy roads. Of course,
Oh yeah.
super experienced Goldwing riders.
Oh man, this is cool. When I was a young child, I lived in Minnesota back in the day. One of our we had a parade, and there was a Goldwing group, and they did this. And at the time, I didn't know it was a Goldwing. I didn't know anything about motorcycles, but they did. I've thought about it ever since. I think it's really cool.
Will argue that point, and with some justification. But its real forte, however, remains winging it on wide open interstates. Out here, the plush ride and comfortable accommodations let you eat up hundreds of miles at a stretch. And since it was designed from the outset as a 2-person machine, adding a passenger does nothing to upset its balance.
Yeah, of course, interstate riding is what a Goldwing is about. I actually need a new rear tire on mine right now, so I'm not doing a bunch of highway miles. We will talk about that in the future. Maybe when we do our first road trip, maybe we'll try highway versus back roads. Personally, even on a Goldwing, if I'm going an hour away, I like to select avoid highways and take an hour and 20 or an hour and a half instead. 60-mile-an-hour back roads, I think, are just a lot more beautiful and a lot more worth riding than interstate. Mostly because cars on the interstate, yeah, speed limit's 70 miles an hour, but everybody's trying to go 80, 85, and I don't like to push my Goldwing too hard. I'll really only go 75 max, and I just don't feel comfortable having cars passing me constantly like that on the interstate. So I do prefer back roads on the my Honda Goldwing GL1500.
We appreciated that when encountering.
And then, of course, 2-up riding. I've done quite a bit of 2-up riding, mostly with my brother, and he has his own motorcycle license now, so we actually haven't really done that since. And like I said, I need a new rear tire. I'm not going to have any passengers on it while I need a new rear tire still. Of course, 2-up riding is one of the main reasons I got a Goldwing in the first place. But I'm not going to talk too much. I'm
Encountering those little surprises that are so much a part of daily driving. We also appreciated the
emergency braking. Got to practice, guys.
Goldwing's powerful linked braking system. It activates both front and rear disc with the touch of a single lever. It's only at low.
I did not know that. Holy guacamole. I typically use a lot of rear brake, but I guess that makes sense because it's linked anyways. I did not know the Goldwing's brakes were linked.
Speeds that the rider really has to work, and at this pace there's no escaping how huge the wing really is. That's partially compensated for by the SE's clever power reverse system. But if you guess this 2-wheeled car might carry a 4-wheeler-like price, you guessed right. Our loaded Goldwing SE and top-line trim carries a list price of $17,099.
Okay, let's say this video is brand new. Hey Siri, what is $17,099 in 1995? Wow, today that is $39,170 according to Siri. And that's all I really care enough to talk about. $39,000? Holy guacamole. I am going to make a video about why Goldwings are for old guys and why the Goldwings became an old man bike. That is part of it because young people don't have $39,000 to spend on a motorcycle. That is crazy. That is more expensive than most cars.
Or $7,000 more than a Honda Civic. But the basic Goldwing Interstate, without features like reverse and cruise control, can be had.
Okay. Hey Siri, $11,400 in 1995. Okay, let's see what that is in today's money. 24,000. Okay. That is actually fairly close. My other number might have been wrong, but 24,000, brand new Honda Goldwing 2025 or 2026. It's they typically start around the 24,000 mark, 25,000 mark. Top of the end, they go to about 34, 35. So
had for only
fairly close, actually.
$11,399. So if you're tired of small Spartan motorcycles but aren't quite ready to retire in a car, a Honda Goldwing provides a rather substantial alternative. You can call it comfortable, capable, and commanding, or you can just call it Goldwing.
That is interesting. So he's like, hey, if you don't want a car, get this motorcycle. It has all of the features, right? But the price is out of the world, right? The GL1500 I bought, my 1998, in pristine shape. I bought it from a guy who was trading the plastic with all this special stuff. With like 90,000 miles, which is basically brand new for a Goldwing. I bought it for $3,500 6 years ago, and it runs perfect. Guys, you can get a good running GL1500 for less than 3,000. Typically like 1,800 is like really the cheapest you can find a good running one. But yeah, $2,000 to $3,000, you can get a good shape Goldwing. If you want like a pristine shape Goldwing, you can get one for like 4,000, maybe even 5,000. So back then it was like, hey, get this if you're ready to retire and you have money. And that's why it was an old man bike back then. But nowadays it can be a young guy bike because you can buy it for $2,000. Like, and you get cruise control, you get all of those features for $2,000. Yeah, it's an unbeatable motorcycle, guys. This is just a 30-second clip of the 1800.
The world excites your senses like touring on a motorcycle.
Check this out.
And there's no touring motorcycle in the world.
2002. You see, no touring motorcycle like the world. In 2002, they did a huge revamp of the Goldwing, and they came out with a GL1800. I am going to make a video about that in the future, so I'm not going to compare the two too much. But typically, if you're looking for a Honda Goldwing right now, I would probably recommend a GL1800.
The Honda Goldwing 1800, the motorcycle of the year. Experience for yourself
it just looks
the ultimate in
sick.
luxury and how easy it is to ride with a Goldwing test ride. To find a dealer, go on Honda.com. And with 2.9% financing, one ride could lead to the journey of a lifetime.
Yeah, the 1800, it just, even the 2000 GL1500, it looks like it's from the 80s, right? The style is very 80s, and that it's actually something I really enjoy about it. But as soon as you hit 2002, it basically looks like a modern motorcycle. And you can get a lot of 2002, 2002 to 2005 GL1800s. You can get them for like less than $5,000, and it really does show. It's pretty legit. Okay, this is the last one we're watching. This is the 2025. You can tell the style's changed, right? Cinematography is totally different. Walk mode in reverse. We're going to talk about rider modes. We're going to talk about walk mode. We're going to talk about all of this, guys. Basically, all of these are going to get their own video in the future. Just wait. Check that out. I want to ride one of those so bad. Our Apple CarPlay for the first time. Suspension, that was a big thing in 2018. Check that out, dude. It's so sleek. The new Goldwing is so sleek. Guys, if I do well on YouTube, I'm gonna get one of these, okay? Stay tuned. I'm gonna go on some cross-country road trips. All right, we're gonna go across the country. I'll go with my brother. He'll ride the 1500. I'll ride the 1000 or the 1800. Check that out. Check out that color. You see that coloration on I love that brown color. Check that out. That brown color right there. Oh man, look at that. That's legit. Okay, thank you guys for watching this with me. I just find it really interesting how they viewed the Goldwing back then versus how people view it now. A lot of the things people are saying about the 2025 Goldwing is the same thing they said back then. Like, hey, it's a big bike. You don't feel it in the corners. Look at all of these features. And the Goldwing has done a really, really good job of staying up to date, giving people what they need, and providing, a pretty phenomenal experience. So thank you guys for watching. Like I said, follow for more videos. I might do some crash reviews. I'm going to do a ton of Goldwing. I'm going to review every single model of Goldwing. I might even do a video comparing my 1998 to a 1988 Goldwing. That would be phenomenal. I have an Excel spreadsheet of over 250 video ideas. It'll probably be 300 once I have an extra bike or something. So I appreciate everyone who's been supporting the channel, and I'll talk to you in the next one.